that was a lot more drama than I expected. But of course, this is Martinsville. What a race. What's going on, everybody? Cool200 here, back with another video. Welcome to the NASCAR Lounge, and today we're here to talk about Martinsville. And oh my, what an interesting race, and what a call by me, right? I got it right. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But first things first, let's just go ahead and get right into this. I'm not going to talk about everything because there were a lot of little things that happened in the race, but I'm going to talk about the majority of it, the major pieces that went into this race. So, early in the run, Denny Hamlin looked like he had the strongest car. Ryan Blaney here and there showed signs. Joe Logano was a top 5 car, and Martin Truex Jr. was very fast. But Chase Elliott started in the dead last place, 38th. He climbed his way up to 8th and got great stage points for stage 1. But your stage 1 winner was MTJ, dominant in stage 1. Then stage 2 came around, and Clint Bowyer had blew a tire, and a caution came out, and Chase Elliott would pit, and an axle broke on his car, and he would be 52 laps down before he came back in the race. This would put him in a tremendous hole. Just what a frustrating week for Chase Elliott. Blew an engine, had to start in the rear, and now this. It's just is not looking good in the playoffs. It's almost a must-win at this point, if not already a must-win, so that's unfortunate. Your stage 2 winner would be MTJ once again, collecting those stage points, and Kyle Larson actually played some strategy to get 9 stage points, so had to throw that in there. And then we get to stage 3, where all the drama unfolds. So I think the first thing I'm going to start with is Kyle Busch was... Oh, can I mention? There were a lot of tire blowouts in this race, by the way. Daniel Suarez blew a tire. Clint Bowyer blew a few tires. Brad Keselowski blew a tire. There were just a lot of tires blow out. All right, now they got that through. Kyle Busch played dirty with Eric Almirola. Eric Almirola played dirty with Kyle Busch. And at the end of it, Kyle Busch would kind of chop Eric Almirola, and ultimately they would collect each other and a big pileup on the backstretch. So that collected Ryan Preece, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch, Eric Almirola, Matt Benedetto. Kyle Larson got just a tiny piece of it. A lot of contenders in this race for sure collected, which is very unfortunate. Kyle Busch would be able to continue though. And yeah, interesting. That he barely got damaged, but it would be significant for him because he would not run as great as he would have, you know? Anyway, and then more tire blowouts happened. Austin Dillon blew a tire. Daniel Suarez and Alex Bowman got into a little altercation on the track. They wrecked with each other. And then at the end of it, it would come down to Denny Hamlin, and I mentioned, was fighting with Joey Logano for 3rd and 4th, I think. And it looked like he would get tight. It looked like. But it could have also been intentional. But anyways, he runs Logano straight into the wall. And Logano would blow a tire and spin out. This would lead to something at the end of the race. We'll talk about that here in a second. And then, after the last restart, William Byron would fight with Martin Truex Jr. to try and get the win. But ultimately, my pick, Martin Truex Jr. wins at Martinsville. That's right. MTJ wins, collecting max points, punching his way into Homestead, Miami. Like I said, he's my championship pick, making me look more and more right as we go on. So, there's that. And, yeah, speaking of the playoffs, we'll take a look at that here in a minute. But let's go ahead and talk about the controversy off the track. First things first, I want to start off with some older news now. In the Truck Series, Todd Gilliland would get his win, which is good, his first win, and he would tell Kyle Busch to stay in his hauler. And from the looks of it, these two are not the greatest friends, even though Todd Gilliland drives for Kyle Busch. And, yeah, Kyle Busch has had a terrible weekend with people. I mean, you know, but that was controversial. People were praising Todd Gilliland for it, as, Kyle Busch haters do. So, there's that. And then Fox News, or not Fox News, Fox Sports 1 cuts off NASCAR with 2 laps to go at Martinsville. And an insane finish. I heard this race was amazing. I didn't watch it personally, but I heard this race was amazing. This race was amazing, not a raising. And for 2 laps, they just cut it off. And then they went back after the race and got to see Todd Gilliland doing burnouts, and then cut back to college football. 2 college football teams that were nobodies. I just let the professionals explain this to you guys. This is ridiculous. Like, I don't even know what to say. What an embarrassment. Seriously, you don't cut away from television like that. Like, seriously. This made Fox look awful. Good Lord. Now let's talk about what the title of this video, I bet you, is. There's a fight between Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano. If there's a clip of those two fighting, it will be inserted here.
Hey, stop! 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 Hey, stop!
There's not, I do apologize, there was no clip for it, but I'm hoping there is. So if there was a clip you guys saw, those two talking, as normal civil adults about what happened. Denny Hamlin was explaining his side, Joey Logano explaining his side, and the two frustrations. And then at the end of it, Joey Logano just decides to push Denny Hamlin. You don't do that. And then he would run away. Classic Joey Logano, isn't it? And then Denny Hamlin would try and fight him. And it looked like one of Joey Logano, I think it was the crew chief of Joey Logano, hammering on one of Denny Hamlin's crewmen or spotter. I couldn't really tell who they were. But 2 guys on the ground fighting each other. And then when the crew guys finally got those two separated, Denny Hamlin was still trying to go after Joey Logano. It wasn't really a fight. I mean, it was a little scruffle, a little contact here and there. But it really wasn't a fight. So here's my take on the 2 sides. As much as I despise Joey Logano, not as much as Kyle Busch, but I can see where he's coming from. You get shoved into the wall. You're 5th. You're running great. You got a good car. You want to finish well. You're on the verge of being eliminated all the time now. And this is Martinsville. Tempers are already high. He gets squeezed in the wall. He bounces off, ruins his day. He still finished 8th, but I understand that. But where Denny Hamlin comes in, you give a guy just a shove and then walk away, I mean, you're asking for it. Denny Hamlin was like, Joey Logano was asking him if he want to go, and Denny Hamlin's like, I'm right here, I want to fight, and then Joey just pushes him and then walks away. Like, that's chicken, Joey Logano has been in this situation before. He's had altercations. Look at Matt Kenseth versus Joey Logano 2015. There's a prime example of a chicken. Either way, Matt Kenseth being a chicken because he just destroyed Joey Logano being laps down, or Joey Logano just dumping Matt Kenseth and running away. Either way, chicken. So, it's interesting because, they're grown men. But this is what NASCAR kind of built itself around, the first aired NASCAR race showed two drivers fighting, you know? So it's not unusual that we see a fight happen at Martinsville or even a little scuffle as this was. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised by it at any means, but it is kind of interesting to see. And I really do hope, and as much as I like Denny Hamlin, and as much as I hope he does win a race, I hope Joey Logano takes out Denny Hamlin, because then Denny Hamlin will take out Joey Logano at Phoenix and, knocks out Joey Logano. That would mean the world to me, so, it just makes sense. I don't want to see those two really wreck each other, but, if it's going to happen, let it happen, I'm all for it. But, yeah, it was just interesting, I mean, both sides, I see where they're coming from, and I see the frustrations. It's just Martinsville, it's, and then Denny Hamlin mocking, well, it's short track racing, it is what it is, it's interesting. But being the biased bitch that I am, I'm signing with Nope, Denny Hamlin. Y'all thought I was going to say Joey Logano. Nah, I would never side with him. Oh, God. Anyways, with that being said, this race was nice. Now, finally that we got all of that off our chest, let's go ahead and look at the top 10 here. So, of course, you see it over here. I'm going to go ahead and move over just a little bit. First was Mark Truex Jr., dominant. He led, 464 laps or something like that. Just a dominating race. I don't even need to say anything else. He punches his ticket to Homestead. William Byron almost got his first win today. Could you imagine? That would be awesome. William Byron did everything he needed to do. Unfortunately, eliminated at the wrong time, for sure. But I never thought William Byron would be a Martinsville almost winner, So, just great day for William Byron. He's got that crew chief, Chad Canals. He knows everything about Martinsville. Won there, 9 times with Jimmy Johnson? He knows his way around. Brad Keselowski in third, man. Him and Denny Hamlin were going at it. Denny Hamlin did not make very many friends with the Penske guys, if you know what I mean. But Brad Keselowski does beat Denny Hamlin third. Denny Hamlin fourth. We talked about the wreck with Joey Logano and that stuff. Denny Hamlin looked like he had the best car all day, won the pole, but just never really could figure it out on the longer run. So Denny Hamlin, still solid fourth place finish. Ryan Blaney in fifth. Oh, man, he was in second a lot of this race. He was flying. He was doing really good. Just a solid points day for Ryan Blaney. We'll take a look at the points here in a minute. I mean, solid points days don't mean you're in points days. You know what I mean? Kurt Busch finishing good in sixth. Man, he did not look good all day. He was running where Larson was 19th most of the day. Finds himself in sixth place. That's a veteran-style Kurt Busch right there. Kevin Harvick in seventh. He also looked like Kyle Larson behind Kyle Larson. He was just not running good, mid-teens. But, yeah, decent points day for Kevin Harvick in seventh, but still below a cut line, I believe. Joey Logano with a beat-up race car finds himself, again, pacing his car to eighth place. Did that at Talladega, now at Martinsville. He knows his way around with a wrecked race car. So, yeah, eighth place for Joey Logano. Ninth, even though he is horrendous at Martinsville, Kyle Larson getting a ninth place finish. That's what he needed to do. He's a lot below the cut line. He probably should have had a better day, but he's awful at Martinsville. I dread him coming here because he's so bad, but he missed a few of the wrecks, got a little bit of luck on his side, and came home ninth. Still not enough to get above that cut line. It's getting dangerous for Kyle Larson, but he needed that ninth place, or he would be in a bigger hole than he is now. And he's finishing 10th. Just like the veteran man he does, the Rocket Man Ryan Newman finishes 10th again. Who's surprised by this at this point? Riding that school bus home to 10th, man. Who knew a school bus could be so fast? David Reagan, Chris Buescher, and Darrell Wallace Jr. 11th, 12th, and 13th. Man, good finishes for those three drivers. Especially David Reagan, man. He needed that. I'm proud of him for that one. Good job, Reagan. Corey LaJoy and that mystery machine. He finishes 18th. Good day for that small team for sure. And we're going to keep on going here. Matt Crafton had to fill in for Matt Tifft. Matt Tifft was sent to the infield care center, and then he would be sent to a hospital, then released, and then sent home. Matt Crafton would take over that Ford number 36 for Tift. Best of luck for Tift to get better for sure. Alex Bowman had a horrendous day along with Daniel Suarez. Those two would get in a wreck and finish 30th and 31st. And then all the way down here we have Clint Boyer in 35th. He was a second place car most of the day. That Blue Death car, man, that ran great. But just two blown tires, miscommunication on pit road led him to 35th. Chase Elliott in 36th place. Ooh, man, that's tough, man. That is tough. That axle braking, man, that was horrible. Eric Almirola and Jimmy Johnson would finish out the 38 drivers because those two were involved in that Kyle Busch wreck. Man, some good drivers back here, 35th and through 38th. Top contenders for sure. Eric Almirola and Clint Boyer looked like they almost had winning race cars, and Chase Elliott was in 5th at one point, looking really strong, running like Denny Hamlin. I bet you he would have had something for Martin Truex Jr. He wouldn't have beaten him. He probably would have looked like William Byron. But he really does. He really did look like he had something for him, you know? It's just a shame. But enough of that. We wasted 5.5 minutes on this. Let's go ahead and look at the final point standings as of end of Martinsville. Okay, guys. Bad news. Couldn't find a picture of it. I don't know why. Usually NBC or NASCAR posts one on Instagram, but I was unfortunately not able to find one. So I know the point standings, though. First is Martin Truex Jr. Second is Kyle Busch. Third, I believe, is Denny Hamlin. And then, of course, Joey Logano is, I believe, plus 8 or 9 above the cut line. And then you have Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson is like minus 20, I think. And then Chase Elliott is like minus 46 or something like that. So Chase Elliott kind of looking like a must-win. And Kyle Larson looking like a big points needing, you know. He needs to win 2 stages and finish the race decent in Texas. Yeah, we got a lot of ground to make up, Larson. Oh, jeez. I really want to see him go to Homestead, you know. It's just, we'll see what happens. But I'm still looking for a picture, but unfortunately I can't find one. But if I do find one, you would have seen it right there. But anyways, guys, I'm going to jump off of here. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all just enjoyed Martinsville in general. And I'll see you guys when we head to Texas. Not sure how that one's going to play out. We'll see. Anyways, guys, please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more. Let me know what you thought of the race. And follow me on all the socials, links in the description below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Sorry if I was a little quiet in this video. I'm, trying not to disturb anybody. So, yeah. Peace out.